What is the purpose of life? The purpose of life for me is to live. Now, what does it mean to live? To live is to be fully yourself, to express yourself unapologetically, and to be who you were created to be. Now, this sounds like I'm making it very simple, and to an extent, it is that simple. I guess the issue comes about when you probably don't know why you are here or what there is to live for. And I guess that becomes the journey here, because a lot of us get born into a space where we are programmed into certain paradigms and we're told what to live for. Sometimes your parents may pick your profession for you. Of course, they pick your name for you, your ideologies, your religious beliefs, and your education system also tells you who you're supposed to be, how to think about the world, and why you are here. And most often, religious ideologies tend to give us an explanation as to why we're here. And if you take like Orthodox Christianity, usually it'll tell you you're here to worship God and to live a life and make sure you make it to heaven so that you can live after you're dead and have everlasting life. For me, that's not what life is about. Life, like I said, is to live fully, is to be who you are. And the journey of life is to discover what your purpose is and to live that fully. What makes you you, what makes you unique. Because you have to think about it this way. There's 8 billion people on this earth, probably more. I'm not sure the exact number. But each and every single one of those 8 billion individuals is uniquely made. No two individuals even have the same thumbprint. That's how unique you are. You have a unique ID. So that means there's no one like you. There's not a single other human being that is like you. Now, just pause for a second and think about how incredible that is. No one is made in your likeness. So that makes you very unique. Even if you're a twin and you look like your twin, you're different from your twin and you're unique and you have a unique purpose, just as different tools have different unique purposes. A corkscrew has a unique purpose that is different from a bottle opener. And to live in life for me is to find that purpose. And to find that purpose and embody it fully and live fully in that truth. It's not about trying to mimic anybody or trying to be like someone else. It's about expressing yourself in how the creator or the creation has made you. For you to be unique and for you to be the only one of a kind in this reality, it means you have a unique place, you have a unique job, you have something special to offer the world. And sometimes when you try to express this uniqueness, people in life will call you weird just because you are not fitting the mold that usually society wants us to fit in. But you have to realize that being yourself and being your unique self is exactly what you're here to do. And you do that, like I said, by finding your passion. Now, what is your passion? Your passion can be looked at in many different ways. With some people, it may be like a greater goal that they feel they're here to serve. Some people may have a big dream that they feel like this is why they're here. They're here in this world and this is what they're here to do. And that's good if you can discover that early on in your life. But for many people, sometimes they don't even know where to begin. So then how do you find your passion? Well, you find your passion by doing what excites you. You may not necessarily have that big grand idea of what it is, but if you follow the path of the things that make you come alive, the things that excite you, I guarantee you will live your passion and you will find your passion. And one thing you have to also realize is that you may have a grand idea of what your passion is, but it's also possible for it to evolve as time goes on. It may change, it may appear to look differently because the things that excite you may also change as you change as a human being. However, the feeling of excitement is something that will always be with you. For example, at a certain age, you may be excited from skateboarding. Skateboarding may bring you so much excitement that that's all you want to do. And maybe 3 years later, you may get very excited from painting, painting portraits or something like that. And maybe a year after, you may get very passionate about computer programming. So someone may look at you and tell you, oh, you're confused. You don't even know what you want to be. And I want you to understand that it's not always about that, knowing that big picture and just fixating on that, because it may change, it may evolve, you may evolve, and as you're evolving, you're becoming a new person. Your passions may be evolving in how they manifest. So what you have to use to be able to guide yourself is that feeling of excitement. Every single day when you wake up, ask yourself, have a conversation with yourself and ask yourself, what do I feel excited to do today? Maybe you have two things. Flip a coin and figure out which one. If you have two things and you can't really decide on which of the two is the perfect one for you, flip a coin. And sometimes when you flip a coin and say it lands on heads, and heads means, oh, okay, I'm going to do A versus B, that might even help you figure out if A is really what you want to do. But regardless of how you decide what you're going to do, the thing is, pick the thing that brings you the most excitement. And it could be the simplest thing, from taking a walk to reading a book to taking a shower or to just even relaxing. If in that very moment relaxation is what brings you the most excitement, then that's what you do, because what you are learning to do is to tune yourself to that vibrational frequency of excitement, because that vibrational frequency of excitement is aligned to your passion, and is also what brings you alive, is what keeps you alive, is what makes you feel alive. And life is meant to be lived to feel alive. So what is the purpose of life? The purpose of life is to feel alive, is to live. So every single moment, if you can find the thing that brings you alive, you are on the path of your passions, and you are doing what you came here to do, because you didn't come here to suffer. Believe it or not, you came here to have fun. You came here to live in that excitement, because that excitement shows you that you are aligned with your higher purpose, you're aligned with source energy, and you're aligned with God. And because it's the thing that gets you excited, that brings you the most joy, is usually the thing that you're really good at doing. And you won't work a single day in your life if you align yourself to your passions. So live, that is the purpose of life. It's that simple. The complexity comes in when you grow up in a world and you're not sure what to do. And that is what I'm saying. When you're not sure what to do, just follow your highest excitement. And usually it may not be what other people are excited about. So people may give you a lot of shit for it. And, people may look at you like you're weird and whatnot. It's fine. Your weirdness is your superpower. It's your uniqueness. You're meant to be weird because you are a unique piece in this life's puzzle. I once heard a statement that was like, the best way to fit in is to be yourself. And it's like you're a puzzle piece. If you try to be any other puzzle piece in the grand puzzle of reality, you won't fit in where you were made to fit in. You've been made the way you are for a particular purpose, and that purpose is aligned with your passion and your excitement. So if you find your excitement, and if you live in that vibration, in that frequency, trust me, you will live a life of passion, and you will live a life of joy, and everything else will work out for you, because the universe will align to this, and the universe will come together to make sure everything works out for you. Sure, you will face some challenges. That's part of life, because challenges allow you to become more. You will step into the unknown, and the unknown is where you discover more of yourself, and you expand your being, your consciousness, and you become more. But if you follow your passion, your excitement, and you live in that joy, and you do the things that make you come alive, that make you feel alive, trust me, you will live a life worth living. You will live a joyous life. And for me, this is what life is about. This is why we are here. We're here to live. We're here to express ourselves. And by expressing our unique selves, we are offering a service to the collective. We're doing God's work. We're doing the universe's work, because God has manifested as you in your unique form to provide that unique service to reality and to provide that unique perspective back to the grand collective, back to the field. So be yourself, be yourself and love yourself and express yourself unapologetically, because that is why you are here. To live is to do the things that make you feel alive. I hope you've enjoyed this conversation and it has brought you some value. And as always, thank you for tuning in and for listening to this. And take care and have a beautiful day. Peace.